So let's take a look at mobility. This is a question for you. It's a yes-no question. We can do it quite quickly. Are you satisfied with opportunities to get ahead in America by working hard? A, yes. B, no. Go. Okay, let's end the bidding there and see what you think. Overwhelmingly, 73% of you say no. 27% of you say yes. This is, if there's any social compact in the United States, this is sort of the essence of the social compact. Everybody ought to be able to get ahead by working hard, by playing by the rules. But if you can't, something's wrong. Something's profoundly wrong. I don't know what is in your heads when you say no, but let's take a look at the way this question has been answered over the last 20 years by a random sample of Americans. Well, most of them disagree with you. Most of them say they're satisfied with the opportunity to get ahead by working hard. But interestingly, if you look at the trend line, just over the last 20 years, the trend line is downward. And anybody who has followed polls, particularly opinion polls, and they're flawed in all sorts of ways, but one thing that's interesting, and Gallup does this quite well, is that even a fall of 10% is significant. It signals something. This, too, we will come back to. Social mobility by the percentage of children. Now here I've got to explain, again, before I put this up and confuse you. We're going to look for each quintile, each 20% of income group, how easy it is for the children in that income group to get into a higher income group. So let's just take a look. And if you really want to look hard, what we're looking at here is a child born in the bottom 20% by income. 43% of those children are stuck in the bottom. They never get out of the bottom 20%. By contrast, here, 40% of the children born in the top 20% in the top quintile are stuck at the top. They never get out of the top. They stay in the top. Now, this is a picture. These are the most recent data we have that I have confidence in.
I've got a class coming up from 3
bit,
to
sure
4 on Google
But
Classroom.
the point is that relative to most other
So
so-called
this is
rich
kind of an
nations,
experimentation chat. So
we now have less mobility. Down or up. Depending on who you are born to, in terms of your income class, that says a lot about what you're going to be in for the next 20, 30, 50, 80 years. So the best way to do well in America is to be born rich. I hate to say it like that, but it's sadly true. Or maybe it's positively true. I just put an evaluation in.
now I'm trying to see if I can
I
get.
don't know whether it's sad to me. There are problems associated with lack of mobility.
Hey, Sadia, how you doing?
The percent of U.S. children earning more than their
Good to
parents
see
at age
you.
30. Now, this is really
Let's see.
important
It's 3
in
o'clock
terms
in
of the
the
morale
afternoon.
and
Um,
the sense of fairness and optimism.
I guess you can hear my desktop audio. Can you hear the teacher talking?
Remember, I was born
I'm
in
good.
1946 along with Bill Clinton and George W. and Donald Trump and Dolly Parton and Cher and
Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop him talking. I'm doing some a computer game development class, and I had to skip it yesterday. So the kids, I don't know if the kids are gonna show up today, cause I missed the class yesterday. So, I'm waiting here to see if they turn up. Oh, I wanted to show you something. I put, well, let's see. I'm gonna change my stream layout here. I got some captures from us fighting the other day when we won so much. And this one, you see the one in the bottom left corner? I don't know if you can see it. If you can enlarge it, I could send it to you or something. But you and I were fighting, and this bot Tadayoshi, he jumped over to the side in a slingshot because he was going to try to melee dash you, and so he melee dashed you, and you fired, and your shot like detonated like right in front of you and destroyed him, and his wheels went flying over your robot. It was really awesome. I made like an animated GIF of it. I don't know. Let me see if I can get that to come up. I really, wish I could hear your voice. You can't ever get Discord. You don't have to be embarrassed. But oh wait a second. I think somebody's trying to get into my class. Admit. Hey, Ken. Can you?
Oh, yeah. When I talked to you yesterday, your audio was horrible.
I have no idea because I had several calls today, and all my phone stuff, it was working. It was fine.
Well, what I wonder if you're using Wi-Fi calling, if you're streaming and doing all your other stuff online, if it's sucking up all your bandwidth, and that's the issue.
Well, I'm pretty sure I was not on. My phone is not set to default to the Wi-Fi in the house. Actually, typically, I have the unlimited mobile hotspot.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, there's somebody on the live stream, Sadia from India. Sadia,
Cool.
yeah, she's yeah, I'm showing her the cat. Say hello to Sadia. Sadia's. But if you can see, Sadia's really good at Mech Arena. I actually, for wow, really good for somebody that plays on the smartphone. She's really good because it's tough. It was originally first a smartphone game, but she plays really well, and we play. And that shot in the bottom corner there, yeah, I don't know if you can see it. If it's well, no, you can't. You're looking at you're not seeing what she's seeing on the stream because I've got OBS as.
I mean, I see your OBS screen, and then I see like me in the very bottom. In other words, I see your Mystic Mask.
Okay, stop. Do me a favor. And right now, what I'd like you to do is try to share your screen on Google Classroom so I can actually see what you see. Because it's a picture is worth 1,000 words.
I understand. So you have to walk through me again. Up at the top, I click on.
No, in the bottom of your classroom window, you've got a series of, I believe it's 8 icons. On the far right, there's a red phone icon.
Right.
On the far left, there's a microphone icon, then a camera icon, then a closed caption icon, an emoji, like a reaction icon.
Right.
And then next to that, that's what you want to click. That little frame down there with the arrow in it means that you're going to share your screen and we'll all be able to see exactly what you see. and that's one of the good things about, and I think that that's one of the values of doing a class like this, is it shows some technical behind the scenes stuff of how these things work. Okay, so he's getting ready to share his screen, and we're gonna see what he's getting. All right, so yeah, okay, so that is not what's useful to us. All right, so I'm gonna, let me see if I can stop you. Okay, that's exactly what I needed to see, right? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen. I'm not convinced that that's not something that's going to be required. So I'm getting ready to share my screen now. So that way I know that you're getting the large version in the Google Classroom. So,
Right. Yeah, I see your OBS interface and
Right. And now, say for example, okay, this is another issue. I just tested this with Cydia. I'm bringing a pop-out window. And I'm pretty sure when I start playing this class guy, it's Robert Reich, Diane, your sister, incidentally, sent this.
sent you a link to that. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So,
That was a time when everybody assumed
She hasn't looked at it yet, by the
and
way.
their children would do better.
Because when I talked to her this morning,
They were right.
I was saying, I just want to confirm you sent me this link before I open it so that I know it's not something someone hacked you.
Did better than
She couldn't remember it. Then she figured out she had. She said, oh, that reminds me to look at it. So.
that.
yeah, he's a very, I would, to get background on him, Robert Reich is his name, and he's been in some pretty high-level government positions. You couldn't hear his audio, though, could you?
I haven't played any of it.
No, I'm talking about when I started to play it.
No, I can't hear his audio.
Okay, so also I feel like it's very laggy. Like, well, tell me what you see when I. Oh, let me look over here. Yeah. On the, I'm looking at the person that I put in here, and my artificial person. You see the participants in the class on the right side there.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Okay, so. Yeah, it's very laggy. It's laggy on mine. So if I move quickly, you don't really see the movement, right? See my hand?
Well, in other words, in the participants window, you're moving real time, and in your OBS screen that you're sharing, there's a delay, and it lags. Yeah.
That's the screen share, right? But yeah. So I think ideally, the best results are going to be delivered not by the screen share. So I'm going to stop the screen share. And what I'm not really, let's see, I'm going to change my layout here. And, okay, Kennedy is trying to get in. Here comes Kennedy. Hey, Kennedy, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Okay, I want to let you know that if you just want to answer in the chat, that's okay. Today we're live on the internet, and there's some people outside of our class that are on the live internet part of this class, right? So if you're shy and you want to just answer me if I ask you a question in chat, you can, just type in the chat. Okay, I don't know how you feel. If you don't mind talking, That's fine.
No, I don't mind.
Okay, okay.
But I
Tell me, you got to go. You ain't got time because it's time for your birthday party. Is that what you want to tell me?
no, not
Okay.
like that. But I just don't know um how things are over here because it's my first time being over here. Um, so I don't know like everything like that in here. So if you hear my cousins or something in the background or just something happen, then like that's why I'm gonna try to give back. Or like yeah.
Oh, I used to, yeah, be in a house with a lot of, yeah, I had three sisters and two brothers. I had their friends from the neighborhood and stuff. And, sometimes there would be the sound, and it would be like a hole getting punched in the wall or something like that. Yeah, so I'm used to that. You don't have to be shy about that. It's all right. Or my sisters would be pulling each other's hair out, and it was not wigs, it was the real hair. Ken, do you remember that time? What I think it was Diane and I want to say it was Diane and Donna that got into it, and they were on the couch and they were like lot, and they both had each other by the hair and biting and kicking at the same time. No, but anyway, are you still there? Can you still hear me? So I'm trying. What I want to get,
Yeah, I hear you.
yeah, is okay. It's like, okay. So that word, okay. I see this now. Like, when I'm talking full out on the microphone on your screen, that makes my camera expand automatically. All right, so I want you to talk again for a second and see if you take over the screen.
This is Ken, and
Yeah.
it looks like Kennedy just dropped out, and I just slid over to the center bottom.
Okay. That's right. Well, what is what I am seeing now is that when you started talking, right? That's what how it's working, right? So once I start fully talking again, uh, my virtual camera then becomes the screen layout, right? So we should all make a note of that fact. Just as it's like a thing about, in particular, Google Classroom. So, and what is the takeaway from that? Well, okay, the you're seeing right now a real-time screen share performance. How would you rate it? It looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm seeing your picture inside your OBS,
Repeat it.
panel,
Yeah, not
and everything's in real time. Looks good,
right.
and
Okay,
you're
so
good.
what and this is okay, and this is very important to everybody that is in this class or sees this class, is that if you're gonna use uh, well, I would say hands down you should, if you're a Google Classroom online teacher, that you should use the OBS Studio uh, 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 streaming capability for a virtual camera. And the reason is because, and I'm about to, the reason is because you can do, if it's going across and it's clear, as you can give the whole application interface. Um, Let me see. Okay, and a layout. So I've got these little cartoons playing in the bottom and stuff, and I've got also. Wait a minute. I want to make sure I'm on the right camera. All right. The thing that you have to remember is that the virtual camera gets attached to a scene. So right now it's set to what I had created in OBS as what I call my Fortnite gaming scene, right? So I have right now, I've changed the scene to it's like it's in the bottom left. I've got highlights from my combat plays with Sadia in India. Shout out to Sadia for outstanding mobile gaming skills, because we had some brilliant combat scenes, and you can see her her playing skill on this. I'm writing a song. Actually, I'm gonna. My sister was a songwriter, and she could write some really funny lyrics. And I'm writing a Macarena song for my friend Sadia in India about her Macarena playing, because I thought, hey, I could write it to the tune of a famous song, and it'll be like a Weird Al Yankovic of a parody song, and it'll be a tribute to my friend who helped me get lots of assists and helped me get lots of heals. In Macarena, every piece of equipment that you use essentially has a progress path, and misuse of equipment doesn't it doesn't score you points, right? So if you can find players that know that and are willing to cooperate in combat for the correct technical use of whatever equipment that you're using, then both players gain extra benefits and coins, and they advance faster in the game, which is, for anybody who watches my Macarena stream, especially young people that are just beginning playing, there's no end to how much money you can spend on Macarena. It's like a one-armed bandit, right? It's got all these little kind of where you have opportunities to win fortune keys or win A coins by spinning some virtual roulette wheel, and that's gambling, right? And so, as I've mentioned before, I've seen a guy on Macarena that everybody's giving him a hard time because and they do that a lot. They say, "Oh, your mama bought you all that," It's like, you guys, the thing is with you guys don't have jobs, man. I got money, and I spent $27,000 in this game, and I haven't even hit my budget. You guys should solve your own. He was like ragging on him like that. And so I tell people, look, you can play the game. You're going to move slower if you're not spending that money. But don't do it, because all the bots in the game automatically upgrade. If you buy the latest fusion cannon, every time you hit bots, they're going to have that, or they're going to have it ranked up, right? Because the first thing you do is you buy the latest weapon, and you pay out cash for it, and then you're up against bots, and they got it ranked up twice, 2 levels above yours, right? And so you got to pay to rank it up that, or do the progress path. So again, I'd like to say thanks, Sadia, because we really move fast. I got a bunch of XP when we were gaming together, and it's good to have pals in India. And it turns out that as I've mentioned before, I do my stream, try to do from 4:30 a.m., 4:30 or 5:30 a.m. So all that's out of the way by the time it's time for my daughter's breakfast, because I take care of her at home now. And what I'm finding is I'm getting some buddies from Australia and primarily from India. It seems like at that time of the day, if you're gaming online with player versus player, that's a prime time for gamers from India. And they are a force to be reckoned with, right? Now, I do know for a fact that Africa's a different schedule, and I do have a friend who has a very successful stream, and he makes a living doing it. He's wheelchair bound. I mentioned him before. He's an Iraq veteran, and he's wheelchair bound, and it took him 3 years to start making money. And the only reason he was on all day, every day like that, so he could build that following, is because he couldn't get out of that wheelchair. He's completely disabled, right? And he made and this is a message that I like to give to kids that want to be streamers or whatever. Ask yourself, can you really get on and stay on for several years, many hours a day, find an audience, right? Because that's really looking, and of course now there's a lot of streamers online. I'm gonna look here, and also I'm gonna take a moment to go into the OBS layout that I have set up here. So let me see. Everybody can see my OBS layout. Is that correct? Okay, don't say anything. I think you can see it because I can see it on my control thing. All right, if you notice here at the top, if you see in the top left, there is a stream information, and this is a dockable window. And my screen is of such a size, HD 1920 by 1080 pixels, that I prefer to dock it here on the left. All right, now on right here, Sadia, you can see that you are watching the stream. It says Twitch stats. Now, what that is a dockable window on OBS Studio. It can be a floating thing, right? But I like to dock it right there to keep track of it. Then on the right, what you can see is if you see where my mouse is going around, that's the chat. You can see my chat from combat this morning. I'm like I said to the guy came on. He added both my accounts. Rambit is his name, and on Mecharina he has some Chinese characters in his name or whatever. But he added me when I was on my daughter's account, and so he was almost 2,000 squad power higher than me. So I just got obliterated when I went to a match with him. He's a good player though, but you need to be kind of a little bit on his squad power, and I'm working on trying to get my daughter's squad power caught up with mine, but I just created her account later. But this is very important. I want to reiterate to you, if you're going to be a gamer, you're going to be a streamer in particular, it's an issue that I have. So when you're streaming live on OBS, and I haven't taught this yet, but I will. You can do some really fancy chat stuff on your stream window. So I can see my friends' chat popping up right here, and I've been really economical with it because I've got two other applications up here that I might, in an attention deficit disorder moment, a little insight on attention deficit disorder. Like people with ADHD, they heat up their cup of coffee in the microwave, and there's like a minute and 20 seconds till it heats up, and they're having trouble staying there. They're like, they want to do something because they're hyper, right? And they're, for me as a math major, I'm calculating, well, how many days have I got to live? If I have a minute and a half standing here doing absolutely nothing every single day while I'm waiting a minute and 20 seconds for my coffee to heat up, that's kind of a looking into the mind or whatever and what goes on. And that's typically why kids or whatever in classrooms or whatever are always off task. But he was off task, right? Because there was some lull in the action and a kid couldn't stand it, right? Wanted to go do something. All right, so and I try to demonstrate this on my stream too. It's like I've got a bunch of stuff in my layout here. I can switch to an audiobook and have the reader reading the audiobook, or I can switch to a comic book. I've gone through doing that just in the time that I load my Mecharina matches, where it's like 30 seconds looking for players, and oftentimes it runs a little bit over 30 seconds, up to 2 minutes or something like that. I've read Mad Magazine up from cover to cover on my live stream, up to I'm in issue 14 right now, and shout out to my brother who's a 3D enthusiast and artist. Right, I'm too. This Mad Magazine that I'm on is about three-dimensional comic books. Right, and why you have to have them, and it's really funny. All right, so I'm gonna. So that's what I did just then. Just to recap, is I gave you my current OBS layout. Now I'm going back Let me see what my time is doing. Like, okay, good. And I've got a couple of things that I'm going to shoot for review. And first, I'm going to lay out for you exactly what I want to cover. In this class, we learned how to open up Roblox Studio, to go to the marketplace, select and place assets, to play the game in a sandbox, in sandbox mode with the play button in Roblox Studio, right? Then we learned how to publish it on our profile, and we learned how to make it public, right? Now, each one of these Roblox templates that we have up here is progressively more complex, right? It's until you get to the very end. The Mansion of Wonder template is a full-fledged Roblox game with a lot of the functionality that you can just put together by placing assets in Roblox without, really doing custom scripting yet. So when you go as a game developer and you build something that you put a little bit of your heart into with each one of these templates, and progressively all the way up, and you get to Mansion of Wonder, and you get to where you've done to something like that, and you can sort of assemble that, you're in a great place as a kid or as a new game developer, a great place to go to the step of scripting for Roblox and writing code for Roblox. Now, scripting, if you find that you're interested in coding, a great thing to learn is Python. And another great thing that you can learn is C++. Now, I don't want to. I just want to give you a tip that there's a lot of stuff going on out there with Python, the language, and also with C++, the language. And C++ is more serious. C++ is it's like safety C. The C programming language, right, is a very powerful programming language which you can use and learn and stuff like that. But it's very dangerous for new programmers. You can just really create big messes out of your code and stuff like that. Voice of experience. Just listen to me. You'd be better off learning some Python. You get good with Python, right? You're already, a lot of people can use you as a programmer, right? Okay, they could bring you in, and I saw this often happening at Linden Lab for Second Life. They would bring people in, they say, look, we're not going to be able to use you for about 3 months, but we need you in there coding, and we're going to give you all these tasks to do, and we're going to give you all this code to look at. But they bring them in, and they're like, we know you're not going to be able to deal with this job and this code until you've been in there for about 3 months, all day, every day, and then you're gonna be a developer on our platform, right? And that's a typical thing. It's normal also for you when you're applying for a job. I walked in for a portal information, a portal administration job, and they had an application that was administering their portal. And I said in the interview, this is internal to y'all. I do not know it, and I'll tell you. But I tell you, let me estimate. Okay, I can do this job in about 3 months, right? So really, I had done so much other stuff that by the time I was in there for 2 months, I could do the portal admin job. The problem is they didn't want me to do. They wanted me to do some backstabbing of other people in other departments. And I told them when they were hiring me, don't hire me if you want me to do stuff like that, because that's one of the reasons I quit this school. But anyway, after 6 months, I just quit. But yeah. Okay. So on top of that, what I would like to talk about further is that, and these are my targets. We learned how to set up OBS, and we learned how to record what we do and how to get a layout and everything. And I want to review that. So review the Roblox stuff that we did with a higher level template. Going to go in and do that with the combat template. And then I want to review our setup of OBS. And once we get to the bottom of that, I want you guys to make avatar, and I'll show you how to do that. You're gonna make an avatar that will be your virtual identity when you're online. And the last thing I'd like you to do is to come on with an OBS layout, do this stuff. Put a little demonstration of your game development skill together, right? Make an OBS layout, record it, and then let me see it. You'll be able to do it with a screen share or whatever. You won't have to connect your OBS to the internet, but you'll be able to do it with a screen share. And having said that, the next thing that I would be remiss if I didn't go over is what we've done so far on your online presence, as far as a gamer online. Maybe you put your resume up there, maybe you can put your portfolio up there. Is a free website on WordPress. Now, I want to just take a brief moment here and look on my okay, Ken, you're muted. I don't know.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So right now, Kennedy has dropped off. I think she's probably got some mayhem going on at her house, and she's a little bit shy and embarrassed because all the kids are being crazy over there.
Understand. But what I was trying to tell you the other day,
Yeah.
it's like what I decided, is I need to come up with the assets that I'm going to use.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at like stock libraries.
Yeah.
In other words, I'm wanting like pictures of baby seals out on the ice floes, which I'm not going to be able to go out and shoot myself.
Okay.
And so I've been looking at stock photos, and I'm trying. I've got a basic concept in my mind
of you what you want it to look like. Okay.
What I want. I want a little baby herp seal up at the top and everything, and my I guess you call it your splash page or landing page, and sealpup.com, and some kind of like blue green background, whatever. It's kind of like ice and whatever.
Right.
But in my mind I've got it, and then what I want to do is have links like the photographs you had, but I want to make, in other words, I own sealpup.tv, and I have a channel, Sealpup Media, Sealpup TV, and Sealpup News. And basically I want to have links to those, and eventually those links take you to the separate either YouTube streams and or the websites or whatever. But in other words, basically use sealpup.com as a landing place or a starting place that for my brand, basically.
Right. Okay. Let's see. On the as far as my class plan or whatever, the stuff that I was talking about is more important for the kids overall. What I'm finding is that like after the class last time, Ace finally opened up. Now Kennedy's probably on Discord, and she just ain't, because what kids do as soon as if their parents are very, very strict or whatever, whatever kids have seen their parents do, that's what they do. And if they're not allowed to do that, they go off and they're secretive about it. Right? When I got off with Ace, it turned out that one of his his uncles or something has already got him streaming, but he doesn't understand it. It's like they've got it, which I think, when I managed to find out, I would love to have it where my daughter, when she's on Roblox, it automatically streams. And it may be, what I think is that it may be that his Fortnite streams, and that the particular game that he's on has a configuration where it auto streams. But I've got somebody that I can talk to about that has started streaming Fortnite on Twitch, and he's a guy that's a long-term game developer that I know. But that's kind of where I'm going with that. Now, what I'm going to take a look here. I'm going to get on my Digital Juice, and I want to see if I join. Right? Yeah. Okay.
And what is this? Is this for the website or is that for something else?
Okay. This is Digital Juice. Okay. So Digital Juice is a company that really back, in the early 2000s, they had the foresight to see that you could make a company that was nonstop high-end television production content creation, right?
Right.
And what had happened at the time is the Robinson College of Business was like, they came to the computer center where I was working, or University Educational and Technology Services, and they're like, we're putting in a closed circuit television for Georgia State University. And we want you guys to get it set up and running and train our staff how to use it, right? And we want it to, it's a business school. We have a very high reputation. We want it to be high-end, professional-looking stuff. And so we're looking at, really, in my department at that time, there were a bunch of people in the department that didn't do anything except just go around the water cooler and chat about.
Yeah, I understand those types.
Yeah. It's like and basically they go around and they look, they go, oh, what you doing today? And you're like, well, I'm blah, 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 blah. And then they walk around to some managers and they talk about what we're doing, right? Talking about them included. And they didn't do anything, they just came up to wherever you were working and said, hey, what are you doing? And you tell them, and then they walk off and tell your manager, yeah, I'm doing this with this other person. That's what I'm doing all day. No, anyway, it's a very typical scenario. I was talking to Harry. Harry said the same thing, that they're experiencing the same thing. And you have this phenomenon because the country is going down the hill with people having skills. They just don't have them, right? So what do you do with people that can't do anything? Well, you make them into managers and project managers and stuff like that. And now project management is like this big thing, that people do, which is, I don't know. But anyway, so back to what I was talking about. The Robinson College of Business did this, and they're like, well, we only got one or two people. I was saying, I don't think I can do it, man, with what we got. And they were like, well, it's got to, I said, well, look, get this, because I saw Digital Juice was out there, and they had a set of DVD things. I said, you want me to take an email and turn it into television like commercials every day, right? That look professional for the College of Business or whatever. I need this set of DVDs, so I got it. All right, so I've been familiar with them for ages. They're not the only company that does this, but like right now, and this is to me, like what they have is they have this, but I would say, like, you're not producing enough content to want to pay for, but it's a good deal. I mean,
yeah, I guess what I'm saying right now is like at some point in the future, but my big thing is, what my goal is, to create my channels, and, I'm going to do like little training videos, in other words, it's kind of like, I don't want to say YouTube, but, I'm posting stuff on my YouTube channels, but I don't want to be limited to YouTube, and I don't want in other words, I want to get to the point that, there's some kind of income hopefully generated by it, revenue, which, I don't have 100,000 subscribers or however many hours of content. I don't, I forget what the YouTube, formula is before you can monetize your site. So,
You need like I think 1,000 followers. And
exactly, which I'm not, with my 3D
it,
content, I'm
it,
probably
it's
not going to get. So,
it takes years. I recently got familiar with this Freya Holmer or something. Holmer, I can't remember what her name is, but she when I look, she's like really well known for in the gamer development, like a mathematics for games community now,
right,
and she's making a living, off her ad revenue and everything like that. But think about this: she started in 2005,
right,
and she just kept on doing it, and then eventually it really took off. And of course, she's really good at the whole thing of using a big Wacom tablet to do trigonometry stuff for gaming and stuff like that, and draw things out really nicely or whatever. Just because she's like done it for ages, and
right.
this is one thing I kind of backed off from doing stuff with tablets and went to document cameras. And I don't know. I probably should just go back and do some content with document cameras. But let me hold on a second. I'm going to log in on here and see if we can find some seal stuff, because I have the lifetime. I have the lifetime VIP, and
And then what you're logging into is Digital Juice, is what
yeah,
you're saying.
digital juice. So let's see, seal.
Heart Seal Pups is going to give you the most accurate.
Okay, harp. So we may not have anything here, but we'll take a look.
And you probably don't.
Yeah.
But I'm looking like stock photos and stuff like that. But it's like, even on all those sites, there's AI involved, and it was like, you put pup in there, and all of a sudden I was getting like, like puppy dogs, and because there's ice and snow, it's like you're getting like polar bears and all that other stuff. So I did a verbal search for like seal pup, harp seal pups, which are the little white seals that you see. But I found a bunch of stuff the other day and saved it. And of course, to get anything, they wanted you to sign up for some kind of plan. And I was going through to see, what's the best, deal I can get, and who had the most on it and all that other stuff.
yeah.
And well, and it's like some of the images I found on what is it, Pinterest?
Yeah. Pinterest is just an aggregator, I think.
But in other words, they had the photos, but I couldn't tell if they had, that they, in other words, someone had the image posted, but that didn't necessarily mean they had the copyright to it or could license it. So, um,
Yeah, I'm seeing here, like, for example, this is what they have
it's
for
like those are what we're looking at, walruses.
walruses, and what is a manatee? Let's see, how do you spell it? Manatee. I think it's like that. And let's see, ocean mammal as a category. Okay, hold on. All right, again, this is, yeah, that's all they have. They have dolphins and stuff like that. That's all they have. There's one, sea lion. Let's see. Okay, well, let's see if
Do you know the difference between a sea lion and a seal?
No, not really.
A sea lion, obviously enough, when people talk about seals, most people are talking about sea lions. Sea lions, the two distinguishing factors is they have articulating rear flippers, which allows them to walk, and they also have ears.
Oh, okay.
Seals do not have ears, and they can't do anything with their rear flippers. So when they're on the ground, they kind of hop to go forward.
Right, right. They're better swimming.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's. I just want to be okay. There is a sea creatures graphic elements thing that we have, and a lot of ocean stuff. And I think I don't know. I think you can look through this. Possibly, it just has logos on top of it. See if there's anything out there that you could use for your
Okay.
layout. But I'll look into some possible stock photography options or
Okay.
whatever. But
But
um,
also, I wanted to mention you. Devon called me out of the blue yesterday,
uh huh.
and he's got this idea of he's already like bought on a domain, and he's wanting to do. I forget the name of what he was calling it, but it's basically dealing with creative people that have ADD and all of our things that we have.
Uh huh.
And he's trying to create like a network of like connecting people with certain skill sets. And yeah, he was wanted to talk to Diane, and he was trying to get her the number he had. He couldn't get through to her. And long and the short of him, I said, well, before you contact Diane, when you call her, you need to tell her you're calling her about her kitchen countertop that you've been working on for 5 years. The backsplash and everything, and but anyway, of course, I told him, I said, well, the person you really need to talk to is David. And he goes, well, with ADD and all that other stuff, when we get in a conversation, it's like trying to keep David on the same topic. And I said, well, you're trying to do this stuff for creative people with ADD, and if you can't deal with your own family member, how do you think you're going to deal with all these other creative types?
Right. Right.
So, but anyway, so he may be contacting you. He was talking about
Oh,
automatic
sorry.
streaming and all this other stuff.
Hello.
And
You're streaming live on the internet. Hold on just 1 second. Yeah. Hello. How was what? Well, I didn't get honey. I need some honey. But what? Well, oh, well, I told her that she couldn't have the the LOL surprise ball. No, no, I mean it's a small one, but it was cute, and it had a very nice LOL activity in it, and I kind of it was so cute that I put it off. We are live on the internet, by the way, but yeah, I kind of put it. She ended up dropping it on the floor and stuff after a little while, but I gathered it. It's really like a cute little thing. I think it was worth. Well, I mean, $10, my God, but yeah, yeah, she was happy. I'm worried about spoiling her and stuff. At the same time, I don't like to make her melt down if I can avoid it. So I just want to call you so you wouldn't be upset if I spent another $10 on something that we needed. I generally, yeah, do that. All right. Oh, okay. But yeah, somebody. Zenny had a really big emergency, and yeah, I want this to go on my live stream because this happened with me too. Yeah, Farmers Insurance ripped her off and almost got that. She's had to dispute it or whatever like that. Somehow she got switched. She was trying to renew her auto insurance, and somehow they managed to, maybe it was a callback or something. Somehow they got alerted, some kind of spying that they were doing, and they managed to call her back and give her the impression that she was renewing her insurance with the company that she had been with, and they like tripled her insurance to like it would have been $8,000 a year, and they set up. They got her credit card information. Farmers Insurance, folks, live on the internet. You heard it here. Yeah, they set up, and all of a sudden she started seeing $600 bills coming across her thing from a company she didn't even recognize. And then when she called, they did everything that they could. They were like, well, you have to have the agent's name. You have to have, in order for us to even find your insurance. You know, they can find you when they're looking for money from you, but when you say, well, you know, you jipped me off, you ripped me, I didn't want to sign up for this. They're like, oh, well, you have to. When were you called, and what was the agent's name, and what was this and what was that? And I had a guy, I called Farmers Insurance, and he got the information wrong. I said, well, I'll buy your thing if you correct you got the wrong person on the insurance, because I was calling for a friend of mine who asked me to help him. And he put me on for somebody else's insurance. I said, I can't pay that. They started sending me bills for somebody else's insurance and my name for somebody else's stuff. Right? And I had to go to the bank. I had to cut them off. I had to do all this stuff. So Farmers Insurance, you heard it here. Yeah, I'm an eyewitness. And that's the second time I've seen them up to that stuff. Yeah, somebody should report them as acting in bad faith. But anyway, I'm about to run out of class time, so I'm in my class right now. Got somebody in here, so yeah, she's okay, and yeah, we got a bunch of blueberry waffles and stuff. All right, bye. My wife. Well, actually, I called my wife when I was in Walmart because my daughter she saw the LOL surprise ball or whatever. Like,
what is the LOL? Laugh out loud.
Yeah, it's like, well, somebody got the idea of designing these, and they're typically, you know, there's a theory about cute stuff. There's a theory about brain chemistry and what triggers a response to cute. It's like the distance between the eyes, the size of the eyes and the head, the size of the head relative to the body, and what LOL is just like it's these little cute little baby action figures, right?
Right.
That what they've done is they put all the stuff. Okay, I'm getting the
10-minute warning. Yeah.
Yeah, they put all the stuff that's supposed to be really, really cute into one little character thing, and it's like collect them all, you know. It's you know, it's so you're going through Walmart and they have these things strategically placed. You know, it's a landmine because the kid.
Yeah, understand.
The kid sees it, and you know, so I was like, you heard my wife chewing me out on the phone, you know, when I called, you know, kicking the cat and stuff like that. So I do not want to make an unauthorized purchase.
I understand.
And have her jump on my case when I'm trying to go to sleep at night because, you know, I'm fine to. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You know, I'm fine to go to sleep at night, but if she chews me out, I can't go to sleep. You know.
Understand. So, are y'all big cheese eaters?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I got a bunch of cheese. I'll bring you.
Awesome. You know, the chicken is good too.
Okay.
You know, it's like if you hit just the right amount of chicken, because right now it's always been a little bit too much chicken, and I've had to cook the chicken to avoid it spoiling. You know, I've had to cook it down and put it in stews and stuff like that, and she won't eat that. You know.
Okay.
But she's like, could Ken bring us some chicken? And I'm like, you know, there.
Yeah, I can bring you some chicken. In other words, I mean, last time I brought you some stuff, it's like, as you said, you didn't learn you had places to store it. I was actually checking out my food stores the other day, and I mean, I have a lot of canned chili and other stuff like that. Of course.
Yeah, she likes stuff like that.
I mean, I have.
She's got a bad diet though, man. This morning I caught her. She went home on the way home from work and bought Chick-fil-A, which is fried. She's not supposed to eat fried stuff,
Right.
and she's not supposed to eat stuff cooked at high temperatures and stuff like that. Okay, she took her leftover Chick-fil-A and put it in the air fryer and fried it again until it was like almost burnt.
Mm.
I'm like, you think you're in pain now with your health condition? You're gonna be in serious pain if you get cancer, because she's got cancer in her family.
Mm.
And I quit.
Well,
I gave it up. I managed to give up fried chicken. I thought, man, am I ever going to be able to give up chicken wings?
well, to me, it was the skin, the fried skin and everything.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, and I don't know what you call it. You know how we get those little things under your skin that they're little like fat build up. I mean, all that's from eating fried chicken.
yeah, yeah.
And
Pretty,
anyway,
yeah, pretty much anything that's.
I mean, I had a friend at church die from getting one of those in his heart.
Oh God, that's awful.
So it
Yeah,
just
it's awful. It is. And I can't tell you, man. I'm a different since I adopted this endometriosis diet that my wife is supposed to eat. Try to figure out how do you actually eat 50% vegetables, and I'm doing it by making stews and slaws, right?
right,
So, like for example, if you have a squash and the squash really needs to be cooked, and potatoes that really need to be cooked, I'll put them through the food processor and cook them down in the crock pot, and then let it cool, and then take slaw like cabbage that's really processed down, is even chopped up even finer, and when it's cooled down, I'll mix all that vegetable in there together, man. And now I'm really getting a taste for it, and I'll eat the stuff. It's got nothing but vegetable stuff in it.
right.
Once the garlic in, is no salt, no flavorings, no artificial no nothing. It's just vegetables, and
Well,
I
I think I was
feel
telling you that I've given up all soft drinks.
yeah,
I've given up. Of course, I got off beer, then I got off energy drinks. I got to where I was drinking way too much Dr Pepper, and I was able to get off that. But I'm doing. I bought like a magic bullet, and I'm basically making like a smoothie in the morning. I'll get like overripe bananas and cut them up into little baggies, and I put them in the freezer.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so, and when I get up in the morning, it's like I just pull the little baggie out, throw it in the thing. Then I'll put some lecithin, and then I'll put brewer's yeast in there, and I have like all brand cereal, something to get fiber, and I'll throw that in there, and I'll mix it up, and depending on how much water you put in it, you can uh, you can either make it like really thin or really thick,
Right, right.
finding that happy
I
medium.
I think two things on that, like to do stuff when you're putting cabbage through like a Cuisinart. I'm not grating the cabbage like really coarse grating it. I'm running the cabbage through the Cuisinart. It's much denser, right? But in order to do that, you put water in there. So
Right.
I put distilled water, in there, and then you can take the whole thing. You put all the vegetables together in the end, put it in a colander, and put it over a pot, and then all that liquid comes out. Tastes like milk. It really does. It really does taste like milk. And it's not pretty color or whatever. It's a mix of the color of yellow squash and green cabbage or whatever. But it's very, very good. And that the factor with me is when you start really losing weight, think about it. Hydration is really difficult. You're eating less, and stuff that's in your digestive system slows down water that's passing through you. And if you lose a dramatic, this was a problem I was having earlier when I lost 60 pounds. I was like so dry that because you drink water, it just goes right through you, right?
Right.
So by putting something, by making it thinner, and varying how thick the smoothie is or whatever like that, you're putting something in your system that can help slow it down. Also, when she was pregnant, her OBGYN had recommended Metamucil, and I'm out of Metamucil now. I really need to get it again. But I would put Metamucil in hot coffee, right? And what happens? You put your dose of Metamucil in hot coffee, right? And that keeps it really easy to drink it. Then it goes down into your digestive system, and of course it gels. And as it's in your digestive system, it's really, really good for your colon and everything like that. And it slows down as you're hydrating during the day when you're losing a lot of weight. It slows down how the water going through your system, and it's really important. I've recently been on a weight losing trend again, and when I noticed that I was getting dry and voice, it just dries. Particularly, I'm a singer, so it dries out my voice, and this is really important, I think. So yeah, keep doing it, because man, you're going to find out if you really eliminate the bad stuff. And you eat only the good stuff. It'll, it's going to prolong your life and transform.
Well, I just feel so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, I just,
I wonder where it's going to end. It's like it's like I feel better and better, and it goes on, and I'm like, wow, I should really be careful about what I eat and take it really seriously. And I don't ruminate, like if I'm out somewhere and they want junk food, I'll eat it with them and stuff like that. And what happens is over time I realize
under 1 minute.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So next time what we're going to do is I'm going to be logged in, and I'm going to create
I need to tell you, I've got to pull wire at church tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm going to try to be home in time, but I may not be tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine. And we're gonna do a WordPress site from the ground up from my daughter's Gmail, and so that we'll review that again.
Okay, cool.
All right. So take care, and good class, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Have a good one, David.
All right. Bye. All right. So yeah. Wow. Oh wow, 2:30 a.m. Wow, at 3:30, it's 2:30. Okay, so I saw that on the stream. Okay. All right, so she got on. That's great. Thank you, Sadia, for signing on to my stream and paying attention to my class and everything. That's great. All right, and I hope anybody that watches this will get some benefit from it. I'm kind of just I'm trying to stay sharp with the new technology, and I know that. There are issues around Zoom. I'm going to do a gaming class where I'm going to try to do live stream of teaching, and really formal, really late. Like, we were just going all over the place today. We're talking about health and eating and diet, but all kind of good stuff that you need to know about. We're talking about successful streamers and stuff, what it takes to be one, and everything. So, and just going, but part of one of the benefits that I get from doing this is, as a person that teaches online, and I need to deal with Zoom and Google Classroom, and the technical issues that are tied in there. And one that I have is Google by default doesn't let your desktop audio just go out. So I don't know if that's something you have to pay for or what, but how to route my desktop audio, and I think clearly what one thing is that it's like you need a virtual microphone. So your microphone that's going to your Zoom class or your Google class may need to be some kind of a virtual microphone, so you can control specifically which audio is getting dumped out to the classroom, while at the same time assuring that the live stream is getting all the data too, because the potential audience for the live stream is by far much larger. So I hope also that this regular class can be of interest to other teachers that are maybe dealing with the same thing. And also, I'm trying to encourage parents to get into the virtual world and experience it with their children and their families together as a family unit. I really think that that's important. If you ban your child from getting on their smartphone or ban your child from, your child ultimately is just going to want to get away from you, and that's not what you want. You want to, you've got responsibilities as a parent, but you don't want to because of consumerism. Your kids are being targeted, their interest as an audience by businesses, right? I think schools should be aware of this. That you went and you got a license to be in a school in a state or whatever like that. You didn't go to business school, and it's a different ball game, buddy. Targeting kids to get their attention and stuff like that. If you're a music producer, you're a movie producer or something, it's a totally different ball game, right? And as a parent, I think to avoid long-term estrangement in families, parents need to look at these issues and look at gradually winning their children over with what they have to offer and with the wisdom that they have to offer and with the synergy of preserving our family units and the closeness of our community and stuff like that. Is the value of that is inestimable, right? Because right now we're very atomized. We are as societies or whatever. Go see Robert Reich's and I put this in chat. Really, let me see. Is it still here? Let me see if I paste. Yeah. So last thing on the chat, I want it to be in the chat history, is the Robert Reich class on why the country is messed up. Nice, pretty smart guy. A nice Jewish boy, Robert Reich. All right, check him out. All right, take care.